I grew up in the Alton area, and I have 7 brothers and sisters. So we was always building our own toys, or we made my older brother and I made little scooters to ride around all over the country. We had a ball, and we take all kinds of stuff out of the junkyard and junk pile and use, because we didn't have any money to buy new stuff. So he was always inventing things back then. I've known Bruce Richfield a long time. We used to go to church together. And then I made a remote control lawnmower just to see if I can do it under $500.
Oh, that sounds like an interesting project. How did it turn out?
It turned out okay. I met my goal of doing it under $500, but it wasn't really practical just to mow a regular yard. And then Bruce came in and looked at it. I was excited about it, and he said, well, why don't you work on like an electric vehicle or something, more practical, because when you use a remote control lawnmower, it doesn't want to keep on going straight. It hits a bump and kind of turns. A friend of mine put it like this. He said, when you see something, a pile of junk or something, you're already thinking about making something out of it. So I'm always building something or trying to modify something to work a little different. My neighbor met a guy that goes to the Fox Valley Electric Car Club in Chicago, in Naperville actually. And so I went up there for a few meetings and got to see some electric cars people built. And then very supportive on where to get the parts from and how much it costs and which battery to use and for what reason or another. And so it was kind of neat, to find other people that had the same interest. And my friend Jack Miller, he built a trike, 3-wheel motorcycle, and so he gets about 50 miles to a charge on his. So it was kind of neat, and so we got to talking, and so my family was very supportive of doing that, because then if we could get something reasonable for other people to drive back and forth to work, it would really help with their budget and maybe clean up the pollution wise. My brother Glenn, he does body work since he's partially blind. He's going to see 95%. And so I talked him into taking this truck and get all the rust off of, put new fenders on, and he came up with the idea of making it tilt up, instead of just trying to lift it up like everybody else does. We decided, since it's going to be an electric vehicle, we're using electric hoist instead of a hydraulic. And this square tubing, it's kind of like a jack type of thing. And my brother thought of, he's the one that designed it in his head, and his son helped do the welding and stuff since he couldn't see. I think my favorite car is a 56 Chevy, and since I was a kid that had money, I went to Junkyard and I bought a body for $50, bought an engine and transmission, put it all together. I love working on my own vehicles. I think I'm kind of spoiled now. I like air conditioning, power steering, power brakes, and the fear, take the fear away of being able to travel as far as I want it. It's, instead of being afraid of being stuck somewhere and not have to charge it too. I have another Dodge Dakota truck that I use for work, and then my wife has a Subaru. Since we live in the country, it really goes up the hills and stuff. I think my current vehicle is, I don't like the gas mileage. I think right now the U.S. really needs a lot more jobs, and I would like to see small factories start up building electric vehicle parts, and to be to bring this, to put people back to work in the United States would be really nice. My wife works at the University of Illinois, so I drop her off in the morning, and I drive from Oakwood, so that's a 30-mile trip right there. And then I drive around town, do some handyman work, and pick her up and go back home usually. So it's between 60 to 80 to 100 miles usually. Yeah, it's definitely put a lot of glitches in the normal electric vehicles people build is like 50 miles to just the range. So definitely I would have to plug in a lot if I don't have any other way of, unless I think the battery technology should get better. So all I would have to do is put new batteries in down the road and maybe get 300 miles on the charge. I think they're going to have to be like a range extender or more places to plug in. I think the Illinois is working on places to plug in. The university has been really helpful. They're helped start a club here on campus, the Illinois EV Club. So I think there's going to be more places to plug in too while you go shopping. I think seeing fresh minds and different ways of looking at things, thinking outside the box, building relationships with people, and hopefully it's not just this year, it'll be forever. I think my wife is, because she's tired of paying the gas bill. and the Electric Car Club, of course, is excited that there might be something new and exciting come out of this class. I wanted if it wasn't for Professor Bruce Litchfield, this wouldn't be happening. And the University of Illinois to have this class, to reach out to the community to share technology and the U of I work. The lack is the community is not very educated on it. Just think that it's just going to be an expensive vehicle. One of my dreams is to have this vehicle running under 15,000, as a conversion. That would be in most people's price range. My ultimate dream car would be this one. I think, right now, and I'm always dreaming, excited about new things. A lot of my dreams has come true. But I think this one here is going to be my dream car for the future. Okay, thank you for Professor Bruce Litchfield. Thank you for the university. Thank you, students, for working on this vehicle, being excited about it. Thank you for my friends and family and the EV clubs that I'm involved with.